Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians! It's your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, and the second. That's right, folks. Remember, I am version 2.0. So, folks, before we get going, let's pay a few bills, so to speak. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by my sales on Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockert, where you can find, as I fumble my mic, The Simple Sword and many other great books, including The Fighting Axe and The Simple Spear, which I haven't got the hard copy in my hot little hands yet, but I am so looking forward to. Now, today, well, actually, tomorrow is a huge day. So before we get into my usual shenaniganry and the vast quantity of comments, which you beloved people are so kind to put on, we've got some stuff to discuss that must be made. Anyway, not many of you know this, but sitting in a beat-up Burger King right north of the corner of 421 and 20 in Michigan City, Indiana, with a laptop that was barely working, borrowed Wi-Fi and rodeo cheeseburger. Yours truly, finally, after hours and days of having to rewrite it, got something submitted. That something was The Simple Sword. I got that up 6 years ago tomorrow. And since then, I've made about $600 in 6 years through digital sales. But I've done a bit better through con sales. My point isn't that. That book, from that humble beginnings, has been sold in 8 different countries, I think, last time I checked. It might be more than that. I'd have to do some math. And that means all over the world, people are learning to sword fight because of a book I wrote. And I wanted to say that because I got a couple people here who are authors. I have a couple people who lurk in the background, and I know you're their friends. And a few of them are looking for dirt on me, and, I play with my cards on the table, so, that shouldn't be hard. But we can do it. And it becomes, and it builds. You see, if you go through KDP, they have the reports, and you can look at your lifetime earnings, and you can see the ups and downs. And I think it's very important for anybody who's published and has access to that to look at that, okay? Because that shows where your progress is, what's moving, what's not. So mechanically, but emotionally too. This is a big deal. That's when I mean, I had self-published and basically printed my own stuff for a while, but that's when it really jumped, through other people. Luke Stone's the first one that comes to mind in that the Hybrids quick play, and coming in time to be shipped, in time to get there by Christmas. So you start looking at that time frame. The Hybrids, the role-playing game, the core rule book. And when you hear core rule book, that's a Nickism. Is coming out. AWF Prime Time's coming out through our own Joe D. McPhee. And I'm not sure on the progress of Writer's Rule. I'll have to reach out to T-Bunny and see how all that's going. But that's coming out too. And I've made my little cut on those guys. But it's so cool. It's such a privilege, guys, to write something and get that out there and know it's in people's hands and they're enjoying it. It's such a privilege and a joy to be able to contract with somebody who's doing something you can agree with, and set up something that will bring joy to others and get a little money for it. That's the crux of what we're doing. We are preserving our ideas, our thoughts, and our approaches. Sorry, my strap's showing a little bit more than usual. And we are getting out there. And as fall comes barreling down at us, we're a little under a month away from the equinox. For those of you who track such things, I'm pretty sure my own Donna Carleen does. Anyway, that's coming down the pipe. So the nights are getting cooler, the days are still spicy, and stuff is getting done, folks. And I am just so happy to be involved with what I'm involved with, and associating with people like you. So now that I've prattled for a while, and accountability. Accountability. I have partially redone my desk. That it's not complete, but I had to take all the power down to shift some things around, to put it back, to solve some problems, so that when I get it done, I will have my art tablet, my writing abilities. I will move some of the things I'm not using as much off to the side. They'll still be available, but they won't be bungling. And then I can bring them back as my systems upgrade. So I'm excited. I'm genuinely looking forward to what that means. And I apparently forgot to mute my thing. So let's mute that right now. Thank you. So now I've talked a bit, and you can, when I get a little softer, you can tell I'm awful serious. But let's get going on that. I also found several works in progress, and what I'm doing is I'm prioritizing and rattling them around to see which ones I can knock out and which ones I need to do, versus some of the things that I want to do that aren't necessarily ready, including a project I promised for this channel real soon, where I'm going to start doing a different kind of show where I talk about how to set up an RPG campaign for people who haven't done it. From the basics of how to do a one-shot all the way to how to do world building and on up. And then from that, I intend to take notes and do a book on that subject. I think it will go well. Gaming is very exciting right now. People have found the hobby, and it makes me ecstatic. I also have added another button to here. I have to add my alien and my hamburger, but read local. Yeah. So this will pretty much have more flair on it than an Applebee's knockoff. But let's see what everyone else is saying. Richie says, well, nope. Okay, I froze up for a second. Won't be in the chat much. Got a bolt about midpoint for a doc. We'll listen. So howdy, Rich. And I have a request for you, a serious request. Take one of your stories. Find one that has a beginning, middle, and end, and then send it to Brian in whatever shape it's in. Just I know there's a bubble, people, and we were talking ADD. I got it too. I got diagnosed at 40 ADD, and meds can help. If you don't have a problem with stimulation, that's why you need caffeine, because it focuses the mind. But you can do this, Rich. I believe in you. Good morning and happy hump day, folks. Happy hump day. And I know I'm coming in a little softer, a little mellower today than I was yesterday. Monday was pretty hype for me. Having the Simple Spear hit #1 new release in fencing, and find that all 3 of my fencing manuals are in the top 50 in fencing on Amazon overall, with 2 of them in the top 20. That gets a fat guy happy dance. But how are you doing? How are you doing, Joe? And Carl's greeting everybody. Oh, let's find out what Carl's up to. Busy editing some work today for another writer. Not as far as I'd like to have been, but I've had other tasks too. Writing and creating aren't the only things, even after you retire, dang it. Yes, do not think I will do it later, because here's the horrible truth. We are mortal. Oh, wait, hold on. So listen, young folks, don't wait till you're retired to start your creative career. You are not guaranteed unlimited free time. No, do as much groundwork now. That's part of why I'm building. My goal, well, in part because I've semi-retired out of health necessity and taking care of Xander, is to have a legacy that can benefit him. And to make enough, I can make money. I can make money fast, but I won't make prolonged money with it. I'll make money and then it's done. That's the gig economy. That's actually working in most gigs. You go, you say, hi, my name is, and you do whatever the job is for a while. And then you're, you get your paycheck and you start the cycle all over. And I've done that enough, but by writing and getting your books in, you start getting the trickles. And that's my theory. My theory is if I get enough trickles of income from enough streams, I'll get enough cash flow to make life, a little better on some of the projects. And lo and behold, it's slowly working. So just put in the hours when you have a chance. A little bit now, a little bit then, but then finish the project and do another. And you'll get there. It's doable. What's Joe have? Work has me going since I sat down in the truck this morning. Nothing like trying to drive around closed exit ramps during the middle of a morning rush. Oh my God. It's bad enough that most people can't drive. They're even worse in construction zones. Yikes. About showtime. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Frog G. I'm going to have to remind me if I have it to send you the link. There is a secret folder to everyone who wants to broadcast, and I'm going to remind this because a couple people didn't hear it, and a few people don't get how my system works. My internet is very fragile, okay? That's why I don't like to share screens much, especially on this channel. So, when you have something you want to put out, like Frog G's, the commercial for Frog G Voodoo Gods and Magic, coming out September 17th on Indiegogo. I'll send you the secret link. It's a folder in my drive. Put the video in it, and then I'll put it up into StreamYard so that I can access it without it affecting my feed. Does that make sense? Same thing for a Bonser. I'll send you guys the link again. And if you want to put stuff in and you want me to try to promote your stuff, right now I'm doing it for free. That doesn't mean I won't turn down, bonuses. And Frog G is one of my Patreon members, so he doesn't ever have to worry about that stuff, much like our own syndicate. But do that, and I'll get your stuff running. And we got greetings. Let's scroll through. Greetings. Frog G sharing JoeBachTech.com/apps -portfolio. That's where you get the amazing apps my boy Joe Bachman is making, including the Big Stompy Robots app, which right now has a drift calculator. It's sort of in playtest. We're working. It's out. It's live, but it's sort of beta. That's a good way of putting it. And we'll have to get a contact link for Joe for what you guys like about that app and what you don't. I know the degree system can be a little spicy, but he's keeping that in because Joe's got bigger plans for a much snazzier app. And I know what could be coming. Remember, kiddies, volume at 25% for the first 20 seconds after the intro ends. So you only blow your speakers out and not your eardrums, too. Thank you. This has been a public service message from our own Richie Asplin. Hail, Carl. Good idea, Rich. Howdy, Frog. Have you got your copy of The Simple Spirit? I know mine is on the way. Check out Nick's books at www.amazon.com/Nicholas Anthony Tockert. Yeah, it's a very light, very simple approach. It does build on my previous books. So you reading it as a standalone will make sense. Reading it with the knowledge of the other books gives you a different angle. And I will tell you, there will be a future book that will kind of pull all the ideas together and be a new complete volume, because that's going to be my next phase, my sort of omnibus for the Weapons Master. Wait, you mean Sword Master? No, I don't. Somebody's working on leveling them up, and sometimes that's me. Hail, Rich. Yeah, we got Rich. Thanks for reminding me, Rich. I forgot I had turned it up for a meeting yesterday. Great. Oh, and the deal that was discussed, Joe Bachman, was a totally uncategorized permission. I think I may have bought you a burger because it was at Burger King. I think I covered you. And you gave me permission with no caveat for anything. Hence the handshake and the panicked looks from Trelana. Oh. Sometimes I wonder if I don't have a bit of Fae in me. Every once in a while it manifests. Well, let's hope it's Fae. What's this? Launching September 17th. Sign up now for Frog G, Voodoo, Gods, and Magic on Indiegogo, coming soon. Not bad. I didn't have that proper morning voice, but not bad. We'll take that. Come and dump. Take me home with all the chats that I need there. And for all things Nick Tockert, go to NicholasTockert.com. That is another thing that is on my, now that the Simple Sword is off my playlist, I'm doing the background maintenance between projects. I want to get that up. I want to research, I'm researching. I want to see if I can apply and get an Amazon merch set up, because then we get some stuff I really want to do, like, Big Stompy Robots and Historical Fencing Guild merch. Hey there, Grant. Coming in a little warm there. I like it. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the convo, Grant. Good morning, Grant. And yes, folks, we're supporting Brian K. Morris at Rising Tide YouTube at www.youtube.com/Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications. Rising Tide lifts all boats, and you can find his Wix site, studiohubrix.wixsite.com/risingtide.pub. Hail. Hey, Frog. Carl. Frog. Joe. Anyone else? Donna is out with her sister having breakfast. I'm shocked. I'm hurt. I'm heartbroken. Without Donna here, and make mildly uncomfortable. Is it even Nevermind the Furthermore? Oh, no, you know me. I'll flirt with everybody. How are you doing? Because, I'm a happily married man and not going anywhere. That means I can flirt with everybody, everything. Like, that's a sexy looking sign. Hey, stop sign. How you doing? Nothing like a redhead. Yeah, I get in moods. Don't mind me. Beowulf. Numbers 1 through 4. Adventure that spans centuries. http://kck.st. That's Kickstarter in short. 3ZL capital L BVM0. Follow that link for more Beowulfy goodness. Donna out in the world? What is the matter with her? I know. Was the laptop the Dell Duct Tapatron or the Acer offering of Doom? Ooh. I'm pretty sure. Was it the Duct Tapatron or the Acer? I think it was the Acer offering of Doom. That was, it was 2017. And the brain of yeah. It's rubbed off. This is the brain of the Dell Duct Tapatron 20. The Dell Duct Tapatron. It may have been the Acer offering of Doom. Yes, the Acer offering of Doom, which was one of the major steps our dear friend Joe Bachman had in preserving the nature of his soul to not be consumed by unpronounceable things should he ever make the wrong mistake. Now it will only be consumed by pronounceable things. But he's not going to make the wrong mistake because he's a good guy and I like him. Anyway, no. Old standing jokes. I know, Grat. Only food gets her out of the house. Food is good. Food is normally a great motivator to get me out of the house. I like food. Yep. LMAO, Joe knows the secret names for Nick's old computers. That is true, because Joe helped keep many of them going. And the Dell Duct Tapatron literally was held together by duct tape, and Explorer corrupted, so it was only bootable through Chrome. That's how I finished college. Hybrids Trash Day Volume 1 Remastered, Luke Stone Studios. You know what? Yeah, let's hook my boy Luke up.
Welcome to Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. The epic remaster of the original Trash Day arc is now being collected in a standard trade paperback. With more story, more art, and behind-the-scenes information, this book is the way creator Luke Stone intended the story to be told. This special Arrow Comics Remastered edition is full of energy and excitement. Critically acclaimed and one of independent comics' favourite teen books, you are sure to find yourself lost in this expansive universe. So, secure your copy today in this crowd-funded group buy. Once the funds are collected, the books will be sent off to print and delivered post-haste. Luke and the Arrow Comics team have a perfect record of fulfillment. You can pledge with confidence.
Yeah, that's a great project. I'm proud to be a part of the Hybrids universe. And I'm also really excited for the Out of Obscurity, the anthology that he set up for public domain characters, that he's taking writers, applying, and he's hooking them up with artists. And it's just going to be a great showcase for new creatives. He got... those of you who have seen my humble attempt at, we'll call it issue 0 of Paul Bunyan, Kaiju Slayer, Luke has that in his hands because he was asking for a script. I'm like, I didn't write a script. I just drew this. It came out fully formed. And I'm working on the script for the next part, which is going to be glorious. I don't know how much or what Luke's going to need, but I'm excited. I'll get to talk to him about that tomorrow. Joe Bachman, I only know them because I helped keep them alive as long as possible for him. Also, the Acer was an old laptop of mine. Yeah, you guys don't... The Nick Field. Now, see, my dear friend Joe must never be allowed near dice. Okay? He kills dice. I really think he could get a career as a cooler in any given casino and probably make a lot of money. I'm not kidding. I'm genuinely not joking. If he ran, the dice for any given game, which they usually don't, but let him touch them a couple times, nobody will make money. But he's just that good. Whereas any complex system breaks down around me. It's just an ability. Cars, computers, they've exploded, they've caught fire, printers, which is why when I find a stable system like my HP 1020 or my Canon, Canoscan LID 100, these guys are downright antique at this point, but they're old and dumb enough to work around me. I need to get a higher grade scanner, and I'm really thinking of saving up for a bigger format one for the artwork and stuff. But I'm not sure. It depends. If I seriously go into comics, I may just set up and get the big 12x17 Uber scanner, drop the money when I get it, and be able to scan any dang thing I want at high resolution. Anybody who has an opinion on that, weigh in. I only know because Kevin, been there, done that. Glad I now have a functioning good laptop. I think the hard drive of the Dell is still alive somewhere. It literally is. Yes, yeah. The Acer was a dual boot Windows and Ubuntu, because we discussed that I need a fallback, and I don't understand Ubuntu as well as I would like to, but it does have an odd habit of staying together around the NIC field. Speaking of Joe D, www.linktr.ee/Silvbone. Part of a brain transplant, Joe? That was the plan. I still haven't unpacked most of my stuff from when we moved. Hi, my name's Nick. I've lived in this house now. Maggie started 5 years ago, and I think we've lived, in December, it will be 4 years here, and we still have boxes. Lots of them. Don't feel bad. Carl, I think an SATA to USB was used to hook up the Acer. I've drank and slept quite a bit since that happened, though. Yeah, that sounds about right. You cannot have too many external backups. You can't have too many backups. Yes. The guy who helps me with Beowulf is going on vacation next week, even though he just got back from vacation. Man, Europeans sure know how to live. Basically, Europe has a history of decapitating oppressors. I do not condone violence, but I will say I think that has led to a certain approach towards oligarchs and certain things. Now, I still love America. I will never hesitate to love America. But just like anyone else I love dearly, I will point out issues when I see them. And that's how I feel. Yep. Yagrat, it's a different mindset. Enjoy your life while you live it. Don't wait. Don't wait till you're too old to get around. And believe it or not, that hit me at now. Because I'm a member of the Scuba Sleeper Squad, and the neurological disorders I have acquired, a huge amount of my favorite activities were stripped from me. And I'm not going to lie, there's rarely a day that it doesn't hurt. But I do what I can, and I encourage others. If you have a dream, chase it, find it, make it happen, because you might not be able to. There's no guarantee of tomorrow. And we have another, there we go. I will be getting to that in just a moment. I've never had time or money to travel much. It's one of those things I feel really bad about. My parents, and I love them I love them anyway, but I love them for this. Took us all over. I've been to most of the continental 48 states, and I've been to Canada a couple times. That was back before you needed a passport to go to Canada. Thanks, terrorists. But, did I put two of them on there? I don't know what just happened there. Anyhow, I found something that was broken. I found out it's more broken than I thought. Do what you can. The other thing is get on Google Maps and look around you. There are people who don't know what the park in their town looks like. You wouldn't think it. I live in the middle of the cornfields, but about a half hour south, there is Indiana's tallest waterfall. Now, granted, it requires it to be raining, have enough water in the system to do it. But yeah, and it's only half hour south. I would have never dreamed that. Look around. You'll find things. Crap, we mostly travel in our own area. It's amazing what you can see and learn even in another town in your same state. Absolutely. Wait, Donna's getting breakfast for all of us? Shoot, I wouldn't mind breakfast. Not even for me, Frog. She's selfish like that. So what you're saying is Donna's being a bad, bad girl. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Joe Dog McKeel. It is so good to hear from you. I miss the folks over at Stupid O'Clock so much because they were y'all were so much fun when I had evenings and I could stay up late. And I'm so glad to hear because of Joe. And like I said, Joe, be sure to check the crawl. There was some commentary about a post that was shared on the Secret Humor group. And yes, I do feel that I have learned a great deal from you in certain aspects. Good thing that I had peanut butter and later some cheese curls. Ooh. I had my oatmeal. I have oatmeal every morning for breakfast. And then I make some sexy eggs later. Okay. Gas station food was my breakfast this morning. Need to get some gas and some energy drinks. So I figured I'd get some roller grill food while I was there. Tell you what, my favorite breakfast sandwich is the Speedway sausage, egg, and cheese muffin. I like it better than McDonald's. I like it better than Burger King. I can't tell you why, but I love those things. I don't get to eat them anymore, but they are amazing. And they were the breakfast of champions when I was working with our own Cat Rothermel. Sadly, everything he is saying about me with dice is 100% correct. Yes, Joe is the most Joe is the most dice-wise unfortunate person, but I've met his wife and he cashed in all his points elsewhere, and that is awesome. I didn't get a notification from YT. What channel are you on? I am on the youtube.com/c/Nicholas Tockert. So it looks a little something like this. Do you hear that horrible hunt and peck speed? That is about as fast as I can type with my hands. This is why my books take a while. And that is now in the chat farther on. But yes. Oh, okay, you found me. Yay! Guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this. I don't have my ladies running amok to promote this. So seriously, we are all little people at war with the algorithms. So get that out there. Like, share, subscribe, pass this around so that we can help more people, all of us who are independent creators, and get more people creating independently so that things can get better. Because I believe together we can make a positive change. We're going to keep that down. I don't want to go full tirade till I catch a little bit more with the comments. Okay, found you. Joe Dog. Lots of growth. Joe Dog. Speak his name. And he appears sometimes. Morning, all. Morning, Nick. Hope all is well. You know all is well, Joe. And with Joe D coming through the door, you guys know what's coming down the pipe. Let's hear what Joe D has to say about, well, everything. And really, I'm totally not playing it because the music is a jam.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Sorry, totally wasn't rocking out to Joe's thing like I always do. Greetings to Joe. Joe Dog Keel says, I've been here 24 years and still have boxes from the last place. Don't feel bad. You know what? That actually helps. Hello, Nevermorians. Hello, Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron. I am so glad to see you because I get to tell you guys a mildly embarrassing Nick story. I was scrolling through YouTube, as I do, looking for things to watch with Xander, obviously. And I saw that Mike Jimmy is going to do a special on animation basics. Now, as part of my deal to keep me focused on the Simple Sword, because it really... that was just that project that sometimes you have to fight to get through a project. I told myself I'd watch his Hung On Animation series on his show when it was done. I don't get to watch that till I get the book done because I know I want to play with what I learned. And I got it done, and I saw that. I'm like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. Run through the house, fixing everything, calming Xander down because I'm like, okay, I know we were going to watch something else. But I need to see this. I'm so excited. And I realized I had the day wrong. So it was like 47 hours before I would get to see it. And I'm like, oof. So I am really genuinely excited to see your intro to animation, basic animation course video. It's going to be on his Facebook, Mike Jimmy, on his YouTube, Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron. See, it's right there. Look, it's your little logo, Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron. Write that down. Look it up. Follow him. He's amazing. Glad to be able to join one again. We're glad to have you. MJ, you rule. You're one of my favorite people. Mike Jimmy in the house. See, everybody's happy to see him. Carl, update. Core manual is 67 pages. Got to describe the finishers and the current roster, but the core is complete. I'm still leaning on adding a small module in the core. Okay. Adding a small scenario. Add scenario. Don't think module because a module's going to be a whole. Here is the plot. Here are the new NPCs. Here are multiple settings. Because it's a wrestling game, and y'all are going to get to hear this in the background, so take notes. You know, it's still basic game design. For a module, it has to have a beginning and an end, a full story where they have to accomplish certain tasks. Now, you don't want to turn it into programming code. So only 1 or 2 options, and if they die or they fail, it ends, you lose, game over. That's okay. That has to be an option. It's like, I'm going to offend some folks, death in D&D is okay. Players die, especially in the beginning. So in any RPG, part of the balance of the thrill of the peaks, you have to have equal lows, okay? Because if you just have peaks, the excitement is only this much from normal, but you have to have the lows too. It's ironically almost bipolar. Manic depressive is a very good way of looking at the way the emotions in any RPG are. And look at the match. The ups, the downs. Oh, they missed. Oh, my stuff. So you set that up. And I would do it flowchart style, no more than two options. Okay. So if you win, go here. If you lose, game over on one of them, or turn heel and nail them, in the changing room or whatever. We've all watched wrestling. Keep it simple. Joe, you have a very, 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 very sharp, complex mind, and a lot of us do. When you're making a game for people, you always want to keep it as simple as possible to allow them to add the level of complexity they want. You give a basis, you give the some tools conceptually that they could add, and then you let it go. So have a basic couple matches. Maybe show them how to set up a bracket if you want to add content to it, or just have a bracket pre-made so that they can try it out and let it rip. But then again, take your time. Feel free to, and if you need to add more, add more. I hope that helps. More greetings to Mike Jimmy. Mike Jimmy's proper link. Thank you, Frog. We only have glamping in the Netherlands. But if you like getting out, I highly suggest just going to a local national park. Look at the rules in place and have a quick camping trip. Oh, yes. The Netherlands have some amazing laws and stuff that are pro-camping and pro-outdoors. And it's very live and let live. And I really dig it. It means being a little more open, but that's okay. I find it fascinating and have fun. I love that. Hey, Mike Jimmy. Whoops, let's see. We got another comment. Nope. So we'll zap that so I can see where we are. That's not bad. More greetings. Hey, Frog, let me know if you need to promote on my show when you launch. Frog G will be on anybody's show. You should be on everybody's show. Everybody should try. If Frog G's not on your show, plug his stuff. I'm just having a little difficulty with my thing, so I'll send Frog the link because Frog's brilliant. More greetings to Frog. Everybody's doing great. We got lots of greetings. Oh, you some paperwork, trying to catch up since fulfillment will be complete by end of next week. Groovy. Always, always, always. Your first job, people don't want to talk about it because it's one of the most grindy aspects of crowdfunding. But from a customer perspective, you got to fulfill, and you got to fulfill 100%. Because no matter how good your product is, if you mess somebody up out of it, there aren't enough cease and desists in the world to keep you liked in the community. So, yeah, take your time, Joe. We all understand. We're patient. A lot of good stuff. A lot of people are planning that between either a little after Halloween and a little after Thanksgiving, the releases so that people can get stuff in time for Christmas. That's going to be a big seller, folks. I want to put that out there. And then I actually tend to make good money in February. February is always a good time for me. And I think that's because in January, people want to start getting in shape. So they tend to buy books like that. Learn the trends so that you can counter them. And I don't mean the trends of trying to keep what's hot. No. That's chasing the fanciness. I mean, find the ebb and flow of sales and work adjustly. Try to figure out why you don't make sales at certain times of the year, and see what works for you. But you gotta monitor your sales data. All in your time. I've got a super busy schedule as it is. Yes. And I still have to make a sound isolation box to do. Oh, that's Cindy's Siege. This. Yes, we know what this is. Took a while to get it organized. But we have it. Because my boy Benville really does need some stuff done. And my voice is doing better. So that's on my... And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network has my YouTube channel up. And I put my YouTube channel up for the people who need to know. All of this is part of my accountability for the day. That's what we want to hear. I love the accountability mechanic we've developed for the show. Because people can come on and say, I'm doing this. This is what's moving for me. I love it. I love that helps the creators realize, one, we're all working. It doesn't, there's this illusion that people just, it's like, where do they get the time to write a whole book? Oh, I never have time to write a whole book. Nobody has time to write a whole book. They got time to write a full sentence or a paragraph. Maybe knock out a couple pages if the flow is good. But if you do that every day, you knock out your book. And when you fall off the wagon, so to speak, that happens to everybody. You don't beat yourself up because that's spending more time. You get back on and you do some more. And that's what's going to help keep us all moving. And realizing that we're not the only ones putting in the hours helps everybody else. What else we have? Be sure to have me tell the story of why I was prohibited from having gas station breakfast burritos at work. Oh, gosh, Joe. Oh, gosh. I've heard you're legendary. That sounds like a green room story. All of us can answer that one, Joe Dog. It's an epic story. Okay, well, we'll see. The Hung on Animation is now at Thursdays, 1 p.m. EST. It was on Wednesdays, but we changed. Yeah, I realized that, and that's okay because Thursdays are great because that's my early morning. I may be late to it because it depends on how well Luke's show, my Luke's show, Nerd Bacon on LukeStoneStudios.com has a habit of running incredibly late, depending on the show, and I have to be if I'm on there. I have to be there the whole episode, if at all possible, just to keep an eye on Luke, because that man is fearless, and I am not. The idea of the module scenario for the core is a dark match before the main show. Something simple with a quick beginnings and end. Cool. Set it up. Maybe a custom map of like a training room with mats and stuff instead of a proper ring where they could wrestle. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Should be good. Oh, LOL, no, we have awful outdoor camping laws. You're not allowed to put a tent down anywhere except really? Wow, okay, I must be thinking somewhere else then. Boom. On the other hand, I should get the Life on Korra volume on Kickstarter to pre-launch soon once my colorist started reworking Life on Korra properly. Ooh. Frog G, my man, let me know when you have a link available, Mike Jimmy. Yes, sir. Will do, Frog. I'll be doing Kickstarter first, then go Indiegogo and straight to in demand. See, I love that because you're working a plan. Make a plan, work a plan. Now, guys, if you're watching on Facebook, you got to heart this. You got to like it. If you're watching on YouTube, I need the likes to keep the algorithm fed so that they let me promote because I want to promote your stuff. Or run both campaigns at once. I'll see what my life looks like at the time. That's not a bad idea either. Got to run, guys. Have fun. You do too, Joe. And I know you're already gone by the time I see this. All righty. Cool. We're about 49 minutes in. Now, you know what? I'm going to throw a lovely video up for somebody. Let's see. Who needs a video? Oh, I haven't thrown Cindy Koepp up today. Let's support Cindy.
Author Cindy Koepp is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Yeah, Cindy Koepp is an amazing author. She's doing so much, and she like Frog G is an amazing promoter. So, folks, let's be sure to reach out and support Cindy Koepp. Now, and frogs. As soon as I say that, frogs. I didn't have my comments up. So as soon as I say that, Frog G's showing StudioHubris.website. That's Cindy Koepp, and her book's Amazon.com/Cindy Koepp. She's just. It is a privilege to know and associate with her. Now, since we got that, I got at least 10 minutes left. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got a question. I'm trying to phrase it. What, as writers, do you feel helps you get the job done? Is it a specific style notebook? Is it lo-fi girl in the background while you're writing, or smooth jazz, or bossa nova, or something? I'm projecting a bit here. Is it just a really simple system? Is it you got to be on Google Docs? I want to know what mechanics make it easier and more comfortable for you to write. Because you look at this, and we're all success stories here. Maybe not big yet. And some are bigger than others. I mean, I still aspire someday to have the glory, even a tenth the power of our man Brian K. Morris. But Carl Witzman, I do all my writing on the computer. Arthritis prevents handwriting. I understand that. Here, I'll show you guys. This is my baby right here. I could not keep doing what I do without this. I can't even remember. It's X Performance. It's an off-brand, but it's a really nice project. Really nice keyboard, and the pad is good. Vertical mouse. So, Carl, if you're not rocking these things, definitely get into that. Radio Retro Future. Hello, Bonser. Just talking about you. I sent you that link a while ago to the Google Docs folder. Please put your videos for your projects in that Google Docs folder so that I can upload them directly to StreamYard. That keeps me from goofing up my own internet feed, because I have very dodgy internet. And I hope your Steambook Coloring Punk. Yes, I hope I'm writing that down. That sounds like an art prompt to me. 1 second. I like that. Steambook Coloring Punk. Yeah, I might just draw that. That sounds like a character to me. Anyway, certainly I'll be happy to send you that link again. And again, anybody else who needs it, reach out to me. Best place to do it is through Facebook if I know you, or Twitter if I only know you through there. That's why we have DMs, and I will send you the secret link to get those videos. And then I download the video and I re-upload it, and it's available at a push of the button through their server, so I don't have to fumble with things. And yes, I'm all for that project. If I get my coloring system up, I may even take a swipe at that contest. I'm old school. I always write long version of my comic scripts on paper. I write plots and bullets and outlines, spiral bound with blue ink. Don't ask me why. I just like it. I used to be the same way. Not blue ink. I've used black ink because I am a highlighter and different colored pen guy. So I'll come back and like squiggle notes and different things. And one thing I've got that people talk about is my margins. I leave margins in my books. Now, I leave rather thick margins in my books, not for added page count, but to leave room because I graduated college. I hate that I had to sell almost all my books back. I wish I had them, but that's what happens when you're impoverished. The margins are where you write notes. And I want people to feel that you can take this guy, right? Lots of space. Why is there lots of space? So that you can write in it. Add notes. And last call for our coloring contest. Okay. DM me the link to that. If nobody else has tried, I'll throw something up. I will do my best. And I mean do my best. Believe it or not, I'm slightly better than I let on. But currently at 26 backers, could use a lot more. Thinking of adding a last week special tier. Go for it. Vertical mouse, guys. Let me tell you, if you're going to write, taking the time to get gear that's comfort. I'm not saying expensive, but like my ergonomic keyboard helps so much of the pain go away. And it could prevent you guys from having carpal and I have carpal and cubital tunnel. So I have carpal tunnel essentially on both sides. Thank you, Frog, for that link. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The vertical mouse again is a lifesaver, and I bought my computer is actually a touchscreen. It is a Lenovo all-in-one. It does dog down a bit, and I have to find out if I can add more RAM to it because being an artist, I just chew through RAM. But it's a great system to work around, and I love it. It really, that's why I'm hesitant to get off of this one. I have an amazing computer in back that Carl gave me that I may either turn into my editing box or because my 3D printing box. That way, the huge files I do won't be bogging this guy down, and then I could just tennis shoe network them as I need it. Still a work in progress, but you really don't want to see the mess that's behind the curtain. So, yes, I'm excited. I have thought of doing a coloring book and just putting it up on Amazon for a while. So I may do that. I may even do that as a Inktober thing. But yeah, let's keep back on what helps. Jody McPhee says, I think most need to understand how to limit distraction as opposed to taking breaks. I work best when I can take short breaks, as I do to keep on keep fresh eyes on the work. Yeah, I fully agree with that. There are mechanics you can do where you turn off the focus that will shut off your stuff. When I was working on a lot of working through my laptop, especially before I switched to Google Docs, I would turn off the Wi-Fi. If I didn't need to search for something, the Wi-Fi would be off. The cell phone would be charging out of reach. As not far, because if it rings, I need to get to it, but a couple steps. I'd have my music going and just go. And yeah, have your music, whatever helps you focus. Have like your beverage in hand. Another thing we don't talk about is, when you talk breaks, posture check. Rotate the shoulders back, chest up. Get that loose because we all get the writer's hunch, and when I'm really going, I know I look like Alma. Yes, my precious. Yes, give me the plot, precious. Yes, look at that word count. I love my word count. My word count is big. Anyway, but yes, you got to find what keeps you in the zone. And I'm all about keeping technology working. My backup computer that is pushed to the side because I was in work in setting up the one you gave me is my Windows 98 box. It's one of my Windows 98 boxes because I find them highly reliable. And as long as I write in something annoyed, I can get on there, do what I need on WordPad or, Microsoft Works, and then swoop over here, put it into Word or Docs, edit it. Although I've really gotten off Word because I refuse to rent programs. I buy programs. Okay? I see that as the digital version of, pay to play versus getting married. Okay. Oh, what's this? Got a special ergonomic chair for that. Check out Stoke Variable. Oops. Where's my happy note? I will definitely do that. Stock Variable. And yes, my chair could use work. Break for me. Leave the room. Get a sandwich. Sandwich for those who play a video game on mobile or console, as long as it's short and gets your mind away from work. Absolutely. My short breaks are either Splitgate or Warface. Both Splitgate and Warface are free to play, possibly play to win. Related closely to Halo and Call of Duty, as you need. Get a few rounds in, get loose. Then come back refreshed. I have other games. Knock out a game of Magic Commander with Mandy. That's a longer break. That's a reward. But game or two of Commander. Feel better. Come back. Write some more. I find scheduling. I am most creative late at night. This is problematic with my meds. It's caused me a lot of trouble till my body readjusted. But early in the morning, I can do some. Late at night, I get real creative. So we just have to work around it. And Commie Mark, hi Commie Mark. Commie Mark is hailing everyone on all channels. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you have already, double check that. Ring that bell, my friends. It is Wednesday, so I can go a little late because I don't have to worry about offending our good friends at Risingtide, who, while I'm not currently on their network right now, I do love them dearly. And be sure to check out Ego Raven if you can handle mature furry content by Daphne Lay. She's kind of legendary in that field. And a huge shout out to Nita Lanning. One of these days, I want to get her on this show, probably on a Wednesday, to talk about what she does, because she's a fascinating person. I also want to get Brian in the hot seat. And one of these mornings, I'm going to wake his butt up and get him in the hot seat. And let's see, greetings. Krishna Kid, Eye of Brahma Saga on Indiegogo. That sounds cool. See, I'm a big fan of... there is an era of really great Eastern folklores and stories and legends and stuff that are wonderful. And some of them I love, but I cannot pronounce. My speech my speech impediment and certain Indian / Hindi-ish. I say that so people know what I'm talking about. Names and terms get problematic for me. But I love the source material around Brahma. And the name is Ramama. Yeah, I can't say it. It starts with a Ra, has a lot of Mas in it. It's about this long. But it's a really great Indian heroic epic. Very on par in that feeling of Journey to the West. I believe it's Journey to the West. Yeah. Which is a great Chinese epic. But this is I love the energy of Indian stories and movies. I mean, yes, Bollywood. I have no problem with the dancing. I find it amusing. But yes, I'm looking forward to a lot of that. Yes, yes, that is who I mean. And with it written, I have a chance. Ramayana. And I broke that down kind of Japanese style, but if I said that wrong, I apologize. But is the seventh avatar of Vishnu. Krishna is the eighth. That's, yes. Oh, great stuff. So I'm actually really looking forward to that comic, Hojo. And thank you, Kabimar. This is great stuff. And your mate Luke Stone. Luke Stone's great people. Luke Stone is great people. That's what yes, I'm doing to Maharata. Not bad for me. What Dragon Ball did to Journey to the West. Yes, see, right on the, yes, that makes me so, I'm a literature geek, guys. I have a degree in liberal studies, okay? I've studied a lot of liberals. But, sorry, I couldn't resist that joke. But, no, this is epic adventure. When you take a truly great story, and truly great stories stay. They can be reshaped, remolded. This is the importance of public domain. A truly great story has infinite potential. Look at Dracula. Look at how many variants of Dracula there have been in books, in movies, in cartoons. Heck, I remember at least 2 shows that had a villain who was robotic, who had a name along lines of Nos4A2. You know, when you have something like that, you can do something amazing. And the root stories are powerful because they're human stories. We love the hero's journey. We love seeing good battle evil, and I'm a sucker for a happy ending, and I'll say it. We need these stories, and I don't know who said it. Somebody probably far wiser than I said we need these stories not because we need to believe in dragons, but because we need to believe they can be beaten. Because in all our lives, guys, there will be dragons out there. And in all our lives, they will need to be beaten. They will need to be fought. And only through the hard effort. And that's why we need heroes. Yeah, there's so much in the source material. I have to add very little. Yeah, that lets it be a great telling. All you're doing is stylizing it. And that, I love this trend because I need to look at something because I am very, very dyslexic, and I don't want to say this wrong. And this is why Google's my friend. Yes, I got it right. Cool. SPQR's Bizarre Adventure is another title that's like that. Somebody is taking stories of Julius Caesar and eventually my boy Hannibal. I'm a big Hannibal fan. And stylizing it JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style. What a wonderful concept for a comic. See, these are called smart comics, okay? Now, this is a little spicier and a little more content than you'd find tomorrow on Thursdays at 9 a.m., where Luke and I on Nerd Bacon get talking about all things independent comic and nerd related. Michael Odin's book, yes. What a brilliant historic mind. And I love a good, someone who's really, really sharp. And especially if they know more on a field I like than I do. Because then I get to relearn, it reabsorbs. It's been a while. And I'm so spread out, keeping things going can be a challenge. But Odin's book is brilliant, and I have a feeling that yours is going to be right up there in that sort of pantheon of these really brilliant retellings, and that's what I'm looking for. Oh, that campaign is closed. You can sign up for Odin's next book, The Embrace 2, at Indiegogo Projects, The Embrace 2. He's just a sharp writer, and Hojo is a sharp writer. I read that. I don't follow people I find dumb. Okay? There has to be something that intrigues me. And one thing I find in a lot of more mainstream titles, they are afraid to be able to educate their audience. And I think the independent creators do it better. They simply are more story based. And I am a sucker for a good story. Oh, it really is a privilege, Hojo. I mean, I've enjoyed listening to you. I've enjoyed Michael Odin. He doesn't watch the show, I don't think, and he may not, but he's a brilliant guy. And I like seeing people come through and talk about, what's passionate from a perspective of some level of knowledge. And what's great is if you don't know something, okay, these gentlemen will not scold you for not knowing. And that's what I look for in resources, in people I respect. It's how do they react when you make a mistake? How do they react when you don't know? And because I try to just simply say, I don't know. And if they can, and you get them, and they'll go and they'll tell you and expound and educate you. And some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. Lord knows I've gotten enough concussions that sometimes my brain doesn't hold on to things like I'd like. But it's the joy in the telling, the infinite curiosity. That's what makes us writers and creators great. To be able to fearlessly pursue what you love and possibly make some money at it is just a wonderful thing. So that's what we aim for here. That's what I want to promote. Some people are so afraid of being wrong they don't even guess. That frustrates me a bit. What my attitude on it is, if I have to guess, I will say I don't know, even if I have a strong suspicion, because I would rather remain silent and be thought a fool than open my mouth and prove it. Plus, again, coming from a position, and this is a great, especially for the newer folks who may be watching this, this is a great lesson. If you approach people and you're honest and you're open, and if you don't know, you say you don't know, and you ask a question and then you shut up, which is hard for some of us. I have a big mouth. But you just shut up and let them talk. You will learn so much, and everything you learn is yours. I have learned so much from people I utterly disliked because I could shut up and let them prattle. And I have learned even more from people like the people in this chat. Just about everybody in this chat has taught me something. Because that's what you do. If you want to get better, you associate with people who are on a higher level on something than you. And no one's on a high level, higher than everybody, contrary to popular belief. See, I love being shown I don't know something. We only learn by asking or messing up. That lack of thirst of knowledge just tears me up with most people. I'll be honest. I've become I treat life like I treat the way I sword fight. It's very efficient. I don't waste a lot of energy. I only do things that bring me joy, give me an advantage, or solve a problem. If not, I try not to do it. And if people are giving me issues, and drama, I've been accused of it being a Virgo thing, and I'm not really big into that whole thing, but I will drop somebody because they're rude or they're unkind to people or animals. I watch that very carefully. But when I find somebody who wants to talk and we can learn, let's learn. And that's why I hate debates. I don't want, I'm right, you're wrong. There's no need for that level of conflict. Let's just step back, hydrate a bit, and let's converse. Let's discuss. Because in a debate, you're looking for a winner of a person. In a discussion, you're trying to get the truth. You're trying to get to the idea. And if we disagree at the end, as long as it's civil, that's great. Commie Marx says, I've learned more from my enemies than my allies. That is true, too. A true mark of intelligence is realizing you don't know everything. Well, then I must be one heck of an intelligent guy, because I am constantly in a state of wonder at the world around me that I don't know. Enemies attack will highlight your weaknesses. Absolutely. In fact, that's part of how I train people. Once I expose people to an idea in fighting, how does this work? Then I reverse it, and I'll have somebody else do it so that they can watch. Now, how would you beat it? A lot of times they'll gleefully come out, good, don't let them do that. Right, guys, I listen to folks I might disagree with. How else do you judge someone's argument if you don't listen? That's right. And this is why I maintain a strict neutrality. The fact that I'm willing to say I'm a member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network is huge, because it's one of the few organizations I tolerate that I did not create. I will be Historical Fencing Guild pretty much till I die, even if I'm the only Historical Fencing Guild member. Oh, you need to hop out? Hey, thanks for coming by, Frog. You have a good one, all right? But I believe in what the Rising Tide stands for, to the point where there was a bit of a not quite coup d'etat, but a well-loved Brian thought he had, because of health and other reasons that are his business and not my story to share, he needed to step back a bit. And he thought and there were people causing him trouble, and he thought he was going to, and Switzerland. Yes. And that's why, because of that unique perspective, I end up in wonderful places people wouldn't expect me to be. I mean, I've been around bands and food and people of all sorts of different cultures. And if you go on my stuff, you will find I associate with people who are extremely liberal, and I associate with people who are extremely conservative, and everybody in the middle, rich folks, poor folks, religious atheists, whatever. Why, Nick? Why? Because why do you subject yourself to that? Because one, I fear an echo chamber. And if you are ever in a situation where everybody agrees what you're saying and everybody's saying the same thing, and you feel warm and fuzzy, run. Run fast, because that could be a cult. It sounds terrible, but it's just that easy. And I believe, because a lot of my life I associate with either food or martial arts. And if I go to a Chinese buffet and I don't try a little bit of most of what's there, I won't know if I like it or not. And sometimes you have to reevaluate. Okay? Now, once you've tried it, there's nothing wrong with saying that's not my jam. I have no problem with somebody who goes and eats the pizza at the Chinese buffet, or, hangs out at the salad line. That's fine. I know what I'm going to get. And as long as I get mine, you get yours, everybody's happy. There's no reason to argue. It's like the pineapple on pizza debate. I like pineapple on my pizza. Oh, that's terrible. And people yell. Does that matter? No. You eat your pizza, I'll eat my pizza. Life's good. I'm not forcing it. I'm not like, eat it. Eat it. No. So we can be cool. And when America learns that we can be cool, we can associate a lot more. And then you learn things. And you learn things about yourself. And when you learn something about yourself, you get to decide, uh, you don't know if you like it, if you've never tried it, kind of like gay sex. That to some people, that is a totally open truth. To others, it's not. So if it's not my jam, I don't have to worry about it. Now, my attitude on such things is I'm married, and I'm old school married. You know, we this November we'll be 20 years in, 22 together, 20 years married. This November. That's a thing, folks. I'm not even kidding. That's a thing. But it is a monogamous relationship. So it wouldn't matter. Like, oh, is that guy hot? Sure, that guy's hot. I'm not going to bonk. But that guy's hot because, I said I wouldn't. And that's kind of how it works. There is a shockingly simple approach of you say you're going to do something and you do it. That keeps life simple. That's why I'm so hesitant to commit to things. Because if I commit to things, especially in anger, I've said it. Now I'm obligated to do it because I'm a man of honor. And that is something I pursue. It isn't popular. It isn't profitable. But it's the right thing to do anyway. So that's why I'm so... It's like, oh, you're wishy-washy. No, I'm just very careful about the wording. Lamau, wasn't that the whole idea of America? Live and let live? Yeah. My opinion is on a lot of things. I feel every law that has to exist is a failure on society's part. I feel that as long as people aren't hurting anybody and everything is consensual, so that means adults to adults, don't have at me at that weirdness. Let people do what they're going to do. Okay? As long as they're not hurting anybody, and it's, if there's a conflict, then you discuss it like rational beings. But there shouldn't be all this gobbledygook here. We shouldn't have to have all this stuff. We're not children. I wish more people would act like they're adults. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to skip that one because we do try to keep things pretty work safe here. But it's funny, Kami Mark. Wow, I just realized I've been married 6 years, exactly 1 month from today. Awesome. You guys you came late, but I've been a published author because 6 years ago tomorrow, I published A Simple Sword. This is a good time of year for me. And this weekend is my birthday, 41. I'm looking forward to that. See, I'm going to tell you something else, guys. Oh, noted. And that's no shot. It's just, many times, especially on the show, my son will come in the room and ask things or stuff. And I try not to make things that I broadcast that wouldn't be safe for my son. It's just part of how I operate. And again, it's no judgment on anybody else. It does mean that's part of why I rein in my buddy Luke so much. But that's part of why I'm not on the late shows. I want people to feel that they can be spicy. You're my age? Dang. I'm not quite sure how to take it, but yeah. Now, granted, I started going gray at 15. Wait, I'm older than you, Nick? Now I'm kind of sad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to put it this way. When I tell people about ghost stories and stuff, and I say just don't mess with it, it will mess you up. There are a lot of ghost stories that have the side effect of unnatural aging, stress, some weird things. And while I will probably never tell all of them because nobody needs to know all the business, and I will put some out. I'm planning to in fiction form because telling the truth would get me in more trouble than people would know. Uh, don't mess with stuff. And yeah, I'm just yeah, 80 probably. And yeah, I'm older than all of you, 62, and I'm not sad. Yeah, don't be sad. You're alive. Uh, Now, part of it is I don't dye my hair, and I don't intend to. I see gray hair much like scars. It's something one earns. It's odd in where I grew up. Having gray hair is a oddity in men. The vast majority of guys I know get the gray showing, and then they freak out and they start dyeing their hair and all this. And I'm like, why? I earned this. My wife believes she earned that. She's like, I watched most of it come in. I did that. And she'll tell you it. But we, as Americans especially, tend to worship youthfulness and wealth. And even when I was young, I was not youthful in many ways. And I have never been wealthy. So I am very much an atheist of that approach. uh, I find that the best we can do is what we do with what we have. And when you've lived a while, you may not be as flexible, and that's true. And there are some ideas we need to be more flexible about. That's why building your foundation is so important. Because I have built my foundation, looking back a bit, on kindness and the wonderment of the world around me. I look at my heroes, and my heroes growing up were very, very smart characters. You have fiction, and it goes to my big four. Bert from Mary Poppins, because he was a very caring and fun person, even as an adult. He wasn't afraid to have fun. Dick Van Dyke, to this day, impresses me. David Suchet's Poirot, because he was, again, brilliant, observant, and he understood what he was about. And yes, it was silly at times. And yes, we also walk rather similar because the way my legs work. So I identified a lot with him. The third Doctor and the fourth Doctor. The third a bit, but boy, the fourth Doctor, my man Tom Baker. When you look at him versus the modern doctors, there's a moment I go back to where all he had to do is put two wires together, and it would, destroy the Daleks. You see the similar thing. He's agonizing. Look at the ninth Doctor, Chris Eccleston. Because when kindness overpowers hate, even of something vile, there's hope for that person. And that resonates with me. Peter Davison's Campion to a bit. You look at Spock and Picard and Old Man Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan throughout the whole series are characters who moved me. Zach Niafin adored and Driz adored and Artemis Interior at a certain point in my life, even though he's a total villain, there's much to be learned from there. But intelligence, kindness, and paying attention. And that's totally outside of the religious obvious parallels. If you build a foundation on that, and you allow it to be lit by the sense of wonder, you're never bored. You're never. You may feel intense despair, but there's always a light you can reach for if you're willing to. And that's what I'm about. And that's what I'm about here. And if, as I've aged, my delightful lack of tolerance or a concern with the appearance of both myself and those around me, they're not that surface. It doesn't matter. Do what you love. Pursue what makes you happy. I wear goofy Hawaiian shirts, and this is one of my most sedate. Today came out sedate, but I rarely leave the house without one because it always makes one person smile. I always catch at least one person going. Usually it's something like, "He's such a dad." I've had people, "You look like a dad." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got cargo shorts. I got my New Balances that I have to wear. Usually a t-shirt, these A-frames my wife got me started on. And, Hawaiian shirt. This is my standard garb setup." It's like, "Oh, wait, I am a dad." "Well, you dress like a middle-aged man." "I am a middle-aged man. What do you want from me?" How sad would it be for me to pretend to be something I'm not? So I believe you guys embrace it. Don't be afraid of your age. Your age is wisdom. And yes, I've had physical infirmity hit me. I am technically handicapped in more ways than one. But I get to decide how, I define that. It doesn't define me. And as authors, as creators, we have to keep that spirit. We have to take the trauma and the situations that hit us and decide to elevate beyond that. There are reasons why my logo when I'm not here is a white boot. And part of it is you don't walk in the mud in white boots. There's a whole story to it. And I've told it before. I may tell it on this channel again at the right time, the opportune moment, if you will. But I think we're going to find that by letting ourselves be unapologetically intelligent, okay? Don't apologize for being a geek. Don't apologize for being a nerd. And using what we love, our life is better. And that's what I want for everybody. Now, Nick is trying to embrace Uncle Tennyson Grandpa Tennyson in Ben 10, unassuming until his experience is needed. Yeah. One of my strengths and flaws is that I measure my worth very often by my ability to be useful in some measure. And that has been strained and tested by health and situation. And really, really bombarded to see if it would hold. And it's still there for a large part. I just have to learn the different ways that I am useful. And there are characters. I haven't watched Ben 10, or very, very little. It's been a long time. But I have, Uncle Iroh makes sense from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Obviously the cartoon, not the Unspeakable movie. If you watch Warehouse 13 and you find a character by the name of Artie Nielsen, there are parallels to be drawn. They have been drawn. They've been pointed out to me enough that I simply embrace it at this point. But we've been going for about an hour and a half, and it's getting right around lunchtime for yours truly. Well, I got to make it. So, folks, I want to run at least one more video real quick because I think she needs it. Let me see. Because I ran Joe's. Let me run. Actually, two. I'm going to run Robin.
Hi, bunnies. This is Robin Yoda. Just wanting to let you know I have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Robin Yoda. You can catch me there Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific playing Stardew Valley. Saturdays at 2 p.m. playing The Sims 4, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific playing a random game from my Game Pass library. You can also find me Mondays on my YouTube channel, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny. I hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching.
Kat Rothmel is also known as the rock and roll art goddess, is a wonderful woman who's running 2 sets of classes for art classes for middle schoolers, and launching her own products to support not just arts in schools, but art everywhere, assets for instructors, mindfulness to help children deal with the world that's got stresses we wouldn't have imagined in our youth. She's a creative tour de force of light and love and glory, and I cannot stress how important she is. So follow her sorted YouTube channels. She has like 5, and come together to help one of our own, because she's out there helping everyone else. And let's see what the comments have to say. Whoop. Everyone have a great day. Need to prepare dinner early on my first Dutch podcast. Awesome. Enjoy yourself. Max Tennyson is one of those people who has a wealth of knowledge and experience where, unless you knew him, you wouldn't know how valuable he is to have on your side. You'll get it from watching it. I will try. In his eyes, he was a simple plumber. Oh, I love characters like that. I'm a sucker for that. One of the movies I love that I don't get to watch nearly enough, and it's very unpopular, is The Postman with Kevin Costner. And I'll never forget the guy in it. I can't remember his name. I'm horrible with names. But he's bringing out basically a Pony Express to restart the post office in a post-apocalyptic world. And he's got all these young people, and then there's this old dude who walks up and goes, "You want to join?" "Yes." "Can you ride?" "No." "Can you run?" "Nope." "Not trying to offend, but what can you do?" And he rolls up his sleeve, and there's a faded out tattoo. And he says, "I got this lovely lady in a little town called Saigon. I know things." And those are the character class I find most appealing, and honestly that I identify with the most. But with all that being said, and thank you, I know Robin Yoda, sorry, dyslexia, has an odd commercial for this. They're not a lot of streamers, but she's an old friend, and she has a very wholesome approach to the world. And wholesome doesn't sell right now. The algorithm dislikes wholesome, so it's up to us to promote people who are trying to do good, and even if it's just bring a little calm, joy. And I'm going to keep doing it. So I've talked a whole lot. We've nearly, we're at the hour and a half line, or well past. What I want you guys to do is write something, draw something, whatever it is, especially if you can do a start, middle, and finish, because you can fix it, you can tweak it. If it's not good enough, you can make it better, but you can't edit a blank page. And I will be right here Friday at 10 a.m. for the next episode of Nevermind the Furthermore, and tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Nerd Bacon with Luke Stone on LukeStoneStudios.com. So until I see you then,